Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to this licensing meeting on the 3rd of November 2025. My name is Councillor Shane Williams, and I'll be chairing this meeting today. This meeting is being live streamed and recorded, and the recording will be made available to view via the Council's website, except for discussions involving confidential or exempt items. Therefore, the images and audio of those individuals present will be publicly available to all via the recording on the Council's website. Just to make you aware that the original councillors due to sit in this meeting are unavailable. So instead of Councillor Walter Williams and Councillor Mike Adams, we've got two different councillors, Councillor Pat Cook and Councillor Colin Gordon, who will introduce themselves to you in a minute. So I'm going to carry out detailed roll call of attendance. So I'm going to ask everyone to introduce themselves to you. So starting with the members.
Councillor Patricia Cook.
Councillor Colin Gordon.
And then I'll move on to the officers.
Good morning, Lee Morgan, Licensing Manager.
Good morning, Licensing Officer Ben Thomas.
Good morning, Stephen Mark, Local Authority Solicitor, and my colleague James Campbell is sat at the front just observing.
And we have one member from the responsible authorities, which is...
Good morning, I'm Victoria Woodland for Environmental Health Community Council. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And you are Mr. Hamad Awais, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And welcome. We'll now move on to the agenda. As I explained, there's two apologies. But just to remind councillors and officers of their personal responsibility to declare any personal and prejudicial interest in respect of any item of business on this agenda in accordance with the Local Government Act 2000, the Council's Constitution and the Code of Conduct for both councillors and officers. If there are any such declarations, please indicate. Other than that, I shall now move on to Stephen from Legal, please.
Thank you, Chair. Can I check, can you hear me okay, Mr. Owais? Just going to run through the procedure. Before members consider the matters before them, I'll run through the procedure. The procedure that will be followed for today is that firstly, the licensing manager will present his reports for the premises. All parties will then have the opportunity to ask questions of the licensing manager regarding the information in the report. The premises applicant will then be asked to address the subcommittee in support of his application, and all parties will then have the opportunity to ask questions of the applicant. The Environmental Health Pollution team, as responsible authority, will then be asked to address the subcommittee in support of their representation, and all parties will have an opportunity to ask questions of the responsible authority. All parties will then have an opportunity to sum up. Please note that this should be a summary of any information you have already presented to the committee, and no new information should be introduced at this time. Please can I ask, if you do not clearly hear a question or response, that you ask the person speaking if they can repeat what they have said. And once all parties have summed up, the Chair will ask all parties to leave the meeting room, and the decision of the subcommittee will be circulated by the licensing department within 5 working days of the meeting. That's the procedure. Can I just check, Mr. Owais, do you have any questions regarding the procedure?
No, thank you.
Okay, in that case, I'll hand back to you, Chair.
Thank you, Stephen. I'm now going to hand over to our licensing manager to present the report. Lee?
Thank you, Chair. First of all, can I welcome all parties to today's meeting? Members, the matter for your consideration and determination this morning is an application for a new premises licence for the licensable activity of late night refreshment under the Licensing Act 2003. The applicant, Mr. Ahmad Awais, who's present this morning, has made an application for late night refreshment in relation to the premises at Philly Grill, which is located at 51 Cardiff Road in Caerphilly. Members, you will note from the application that Mr. Awais seeks to provide the sale of hot food and drink at the venue between the hours of 2300 hours until 0200 hours, Monday through to Sunday. Members, just for wider background, you'll be aware that such persons looking to sell hot food or hot drink between the hours of 2300 up to 5 a.m. Require a late night refreshment licence under the Licensing Act. Members, if you're not fully familiar with the location of the premises, then there are maps and photographs between pages 11 to 16 of the report bundle for your information. You will see at paragraph 1.31 of the report, which sets out the steps volunteered by the applicant in his application for the premises licence that he proposes. So those would or could become conditions should a licence be approved. Paragraph 1.32 of the report then details other venues that hold premises licences for late night refreshment in the immediate vicinity. Members, as with all applications of this type, there is a 28-day public consultation period. Following the circulation of the application amongst the responsible authorities and the advertising of the application at the premises in the newspaper and on the council website, there has been objection to the application by the Environmental Health Pollution team. Members, you will hear from Victoria Woodland shortly, who will outline the concerns of the Environmental Health team. The concerns of the Environmental Health Officer, though, are set out in Appendix 6 of the report bundle between pages 31 to 32. To summarise, there is a concern expressed that the measures set out in the operating schedule are not sufficient to address the public nuisance licensing objective, given the presence of several residential premises on Stockland Street and Cardiff Road. The officer has also identified, whilst the premises seeks a licence to sell hot and food and drink up until 200 hours, 7 days a week, the officer has identified that there is currently no planning permission in place to operate after 2300 hours, or indeed on Sundays or bank holidays. Members, you will hear from the applicant shortly, who will make his application to you and outline why you should grant a premises licence today. Members, I would just guide you to the relevant extracts of the Section 182 Home Office Guidance and the Statement of Licensing Policy, and you will find those paragraphs between pages 17 through till 29 of the report bundle. Then, in the report, there are some officer observations set out at pages 5 and 6. Members, I would just direct you to the licensing assessment at paragraph 1.8, which provides you with the matters that you must have regard to this morning, namely the Act itself, the statutory guidance, the Council's own licensing policy, and all representations both contained in the report and then presented verbally this morning. You will note, members, that there is an officer recommendation set out at paragraph 110 of the report, and this is just a recommendation based on the information provided to date. However, the decision will be that of the licensing subcommittee after hearing from all parties this morning. So, Chair, perhaps what I'll do at this point is hand back to you, so you can invite any questions at this stage in relation to the officer report. If there are none at this point, then I would invite you to introduce the applicant so that he can make his application to you this morning. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much for that, Lee. Are there any questions for licensing? I know you'll be making your representations soon, but if you've got any questions for Lee, feel free to ask.
No, thank you.
Just one question for me, Lee. It's mentioned in the report that there's, and looking at the map, there's a couple of other premises that open till 2 o'clock in the morning on Stockland Street and Cardiff Road, or certainly if it's at I'm trying to take you to the page. Yes, page 3, it mentions there's a couple of other properties, and there's a comparison with and on page 2, I think it's the Charcoal Grill, shuts at 2 o'clock on Cardiff Road, and the other one that's listed is one at Pentre Street. I take it that's quite close as well to this.
Yes, obviously, I suppose for members' information, there are these other venues which do hold premises licences. obviously the distance in feet away is there for you to just for information. Obviously, yes, there are other venues. Obviously, they previously would have been considered if there was representations about those premises. Members, obviously today, this is a new application, and I know you'll approach it on the basis that each application will be decided on its own merits, and there may be certain things about this premises which differ from those other ones already which hold licenses, and I'm sure Victoria will be able to outline, what her concerns are and why there is an objection to this particular application for you.
I understand that, Lee. Thank you very much for that. Now, if I move on to you, Mr. Awais, if you want to make your representation.
Yes, please. I will be sorry for my English, and
That's fine. We can understand you.
Yeah. So, good morning, all the members. My name is Awais Ahmed, and I am the operator and owner of the Philly Grill. Today, I'm here to defend our application for license to provide late night refreshment until 2 a.m. 7 days a week. We are aware that EHO, Environment, Health and Pollution Officer, objection focus on public nuisance due to these hours. However, we believe the objection is fundamentally inconsistent within the existing character and licensing a part of the town center. The first one is establishing and justifying 2 a.m. My argument is to build the precedent and manageability. We are not looking subcommittee. We are not asking for subcommittee to create a new late night zone. We are asking to participate in one already exists. The precedent, our nearby competitor, Charcoal Grill and Pizza Go-Go, are already licensing for 2 a.m. on weekends, and on the principle of 2 a.m. closing time is already approved from the food vendor on this street. The King's Arm Pub is also in front of the license, is in front of the Philly Grill, which is licensed to generate much louder music noise. They also do loud live music. If the area can tolerate pub generating significant activity past midnight, it can easily manage to control the operation of food takeout shop. So the justification of 2 a.m. The difference between our request and competitor on midweek days is 2 hours. No, it's 3 hours. Now my closing time is 11 p.m. and I am requesting to 2 a.m. in the morning. We assert that the robust enforcement condition we are offering today, the small extension can manage without causing public nuisance. The nuisance come from the patrons leaving, not from the cooking itself. The condition we are proposing are specially designed to control the customer dispersal at all time, making the additional 3 hours manageable. So I'm also here to propose some mitigation, accepting enhance the binding condition also to the council. We are committed to operating responsibly to fully alleviate the EHO's concern that our existing measures are insufficient. We are ready to accept the following binding condition on our license for all 7 days a week. So the first one, dispersal stop from 1 a.m. until close every night. One of the dedicated staff member will be positioned at the front of the premises to actively move and quieten the customer leaving the shop, ensuring fast and silent dispersal. The second one is sound control. We ensure that all the music is kept at low background or switched off after 11 p.m. Another one, except for the door will be closed after 11 p.m. Not like the shutdown close. It will be closed like when somebody can immediately, it will be closed automatically. Except our immediate entry, exit to contain all nice inside or to floor premises. Litter control. We will conduct a comprehensive litter sweep of the entire pavement and immediate vicinity within 15 minutes of closing every single night. Not it's on the Stockland Street and also on the Cardiff Road in front of our shop. So the other issue, we have properly demonstrated that we can promote the licensing objective. The council must be based on evidence and necessity, not just on objection. We ask the committee to remember the legal test refusal or the imposition of stricter condition must be necessary to prevent public nuisance. Given local precedent of 3 other businesses and robust condition, we have willing openly refusing our full 2 a.m. application. And the second one, the first one objection was the public nuisance, and another one was just give me the planning. Licensing and planning are a separate legal process. We ask the subcommittee make a determination solely on the 4 licensing objective. If the license is granted, we will immediately apply to the planning department for the necessary variation. Thank you so much. This is from my side.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions for the applicant?
Only quickly, what do you operate now? Do you open on a Sunday?
Yeah, we are operating on Sunday, but 11 p.m. we are closing. Every day we are opening from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m.
I thought I read something, perhaps I read it wrong, but I thought you didn't have planning.
We have plan.
Permission for Sunday. And
Yeah,
not
we
bank
have planning
holidays?
permission, but we are opening just for 11 from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m.
Okay.
Yes, please.
I noticed that you made reference to the other
Yes, please.
outlets that are selling hot
Yes,
food
please.
at the time, as I pointed out to the licensing team.
Yes, please.
But their hours differ significantly for what you want, as I understand it, because they're not shutting at 2 o'clock every day of the week. It's just on
I also
Friday and Saturday. That's right, isn't it?
yeah, but I also binding some bindings to the council that I will be doing that if they did like that, so that's why
Can you repeat that? Sorry, I missed that bit.
I repeat that I will the nuisance control, pattern control, and the another one is the no sounds and the cleaning.
I understand that, and I note that from your presentation. I don't want to take Victoria's presentation from it, but I note that there's been reference to any sound, noise assessment.
Yeah.
There's been no noise assessment provided to the local authority. Is that right?
I'm new to this country and I don't know about the noise assessment, how to do the noise assessments, but I emailed them the noise of the pub and I attached the videos to the council that in front of us until 2 o'clock in the morning they make loud music, but instead of kitchen noise and the pub noise is much more louder. So I assist on that basis, said I am creating much less noise as compared to King's Arm. I know King's Arm, they're not selling hard food or anything, but they are making noise, and there is no objection of people who are there that they can object on the King's Arm. And I'm using only one chimney, the exhaust fan. The exhaust fan much more the charcoal grill and the Pizza Go-Go. They also use their chimneys because without chimney they cannot exhaust the fumes of the shop. So I am using the same fan. I'm not using the anything special in my shop to create much noise from that perspective.
Okay, thank you for that.
Thank you so much.
And sorry, Ben.
Yeah, sorry. Off subject a bit, just to kind of refer back to Councillor Gordon. I'm just reading the planning here, where it says the premises subject of this application shall only operate between the hours of 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. Monday to Saturday, and at no time on Sundays and bank holidays.
Thank you for that clarification, Ben. So, as it stands, you don't have permission to operate on planning permission for the Sundays.
We don't have permissions.
Planning permission for the Sunday.
Okay. So we will apply for that one.
And obviously, if this license was granted, you'd have to go back to planning
Yeah, I will.
to seek permission to
yeah.
operate at those hours anyway, which is,
Okay.
as we said, a separate regime and nothing to do with.
Okay. No worries. Yes.
Okay. If you don't mind, Mr.
Ahmed.
Ahmed.
Yes, please.
I wasn't sure which way round it was.
Ahmed.
I'll invite Victoria from the environmental pollution team to come and make a presentation.
Yes, please.
And we might have some further questions to you after that, if that's okay with you.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay. So I now move on to, if there's no other questions at this point, Victoria.
Thank you, Chairman. Yes, so Environmental Health and Pollution Control Team have made a representation in respect of this application, or indeed an objection, with regards to the provision of late night refreshment from 11 until 2 a.m. We have no confidence that this premises could operate during those hours without compromising the prevention of public nuisance licensing objective. We've had no information from the applicant themselves with regards to particularly noise as to how this can be controlled. Obviously, the applicant just hit on the fact that they've got a chimney to the rear of the premises, and that will be an extraction system. And obviously, that will operate through the whole duration of those trading hours. And it's the rear of that premises and that sort of equipment that creates the noise. The background levels after 11 o'clock start to lower down. You know, nighttime noise, 11 o'clock is when people are trying to sleep, and when background levels do tend to lower down. Obviously, I understand that the applicant has mentioned the King's Arms, and there is a hot spot and there is a late night zone, if you like, in that particular area that gives rise to noise. We don't want to add to that either by having another late night refreshment establishment and keeping those individuals that have come out from the King's Arms and other licensed premises on the streets for longer by having a 2 a.m. license for late night refreshment, which they can then linger for longer in that street. Stockland Street is quite unique. The residential properties are very close to those commercial properties in Cardiff Road. More so than what you've referenced in Pentrabane Street, where we haven't got the residential properties nearby to Pizza Go-Go, and Charcoal Grill is further up Cardiff Road, which is again away from residential properties. We do take, every application on its own merits, and unfortunately, this particular premises, and there's a couple of other premises nearby as well, which are takeaway premises, are too close to residential properties. With regards to the extraction system, noise from that, with regards to delivery drivers maybe using Stockland Street, that's a dead-end street there, so there's no through road to Cardiff Road. Obviously, my concerns are that people would be coming to pick up their food in their cars, or their delivery drivers might be parking there and then using that as a little bit of a rat run then till the early hours of the morning. It is quite unique, is quite different to where the other two premises that you've referenced previously in this hearing with regards to the setup for residential areas and the impact that this can have on public nuisance. There has been a lack of consultation from the applicant prior to making this application. There's been no consultation with Environmental Health at any point, and I think these issues that I've raised here today may have been ironed out and looked at. And obviously, I've mentioned the planning application as well. The restriction on hours with regards to planning refers to residential amenity, and those were placed on that premises for a reason, because it is located close to residential properties as opposed to other premises further away up Cardiff Road. Obviously, Cardiff Road buildings themselves provide acoustic attenuation. They help to keep the noise on those streets. As soon as we're looking at the back of those streets, that's when we're talking about problems with regards to noise levels and preventing residents from sleeping late at night. I don't think I've got anything more to say. Obviously, the photographs you can see on pages 11 to 16 of the report. So you can see Stockland Street and the proximity of the residential properties and the rear of Philly Grill. Yeah, I think that's probably as much as I need to say. I'm open to questions, though, from there.
Thank you very much for that, Victoria. Are there any questions for Victoria?
Chair, I have a question,
sorry.
if I may. Victoria, obviously you've heard from the applicant this morning, who has indicated that his proposals to the members were for a staff member to be present from 1 a.m. onwards to control patrons, for all music to be switched off after 11 o'clock, for the door to be closed after 11 p.m. with an automatic closure, I think he made reference to, and for a litter sweep of the immediate vicinity within 15 minutes of closing, I've recorded. Do any of those points, would they address your concerns about this premises, or would your concerns still remain, having heard from the applicant this morning?
Thank you, Lee. No, those would not address any of my concerns. My concerns relate to noise from the extraction equipment, so that would need a noise assessment to be done by an acoustic consultant who would formally look and assess that, and you would need that in respect of a planning application as well. And not only that, my issues relate to things that are associated with the provision of late night refreshment, which would be people coming with their cars to pick up their orders, delivery drivers, which hasn't been addressed by the applicant at any stage, which come in and use in Stockland Street ancillary to the main entrance there. So no, those issues would not address my concerns.
Okay, I think that was helpful, Chair, to establish those points.
Yeah, thank you very much for that, Lee. That is something that we were going to raise, whether those measures that Mr. Hamed just announced would mitigate and make a difference to this application. On that noise assessment, I think Mr. Hamed said that he didn't know what to do or how to do it, and he hasn't submitted one or engaged throughout this process with you. That's right, Victoria?
No, there's been no consultation prior to the application or afterwards. The only submission that we've had are the videos of patrons outside King's Arms causing a ruckus.
And as I mentioned, as you pointed out, those other properties, whilst they are able to serve till 2 o'clock on the weekend or Friday and Saturday, they're in a slightly different position to where this restaurant
yes, the location of Philly Grill certainly is in a different position. Obviously, we're not against premises having late night refreshment licenses, but we very much have to consider exactly where they are located and the influence that may have on the prevention of public nuisance licensing objective.
Thank you very much for that, Victoria. Do you have any questions for Victoria?
Yeah, I have a couple of questions.
Yeah?
Feel free. Can I ask Ms. Victoria, what's the meaning, the definition of neighbor? The definition of neighbor is mean the houses with the 40 houses in the range. And if you say it's not too much far, the charcoal grill and the Pizza Go-Go, they are 214 feet and 250 feet. It's almost in the end of Pentraben Street, and there is a small path. This is also connected to the Stockland Street. The driver may be using there also for their delivery. But for me, I'm using my own driver and they are using Cardiff Road, not the Uber driver and Just Eat driver. So for me, what's the meaning of the nearest one? They're using chimney. Are they submitted the noise, what's called the assessment, charcoal grill, King's Arm? And my question is the last one, are they able, how they submitted the noise?
Well, I'll hand over to Victoria now in a minute, but I should imagine that when they sort their premises license, that many of these issues might have been addressed or submitted. We can't say that for certain here at this moment. But the other point, I think, is that you expect people to come to your shop as well to pick up it isn't just a delivery service. People can come to you.
I'm not using the Stockland Street. No, I am using only the Cardiff Road. My main interest on the Cardiff Road, not on the Pinterben Street. Sorry, on Stockland Street. On the end of Stockland Street, there is a small sitting area created by the council. People, they come out from the pub and they're sitting over there drinking and eating. They bring food from charcoal grill and pizza goga. They come and eat over there. If there is no problem with that one, so why would the problem with the serving food? The kitchen material extraction noise is much louder, or the King's Arm loud music is louder.
And I think that the point was made that the cars could come into that dead end to come and pick up.
I answer that I use only Cardiff Road.
No, I mean other people who might come to might drive to you to come into your restaurant. After
11 p.m. the Cardiff Road is much more empty and there is a lot of parking space over there. So on the Stockland Street there is only the council permitted license parking over there, and on the Cardiff Road there is a lot of pre-parking for 1 hour, so people will come and they will collect it easily. So why would they come to Stockland Street in a long way?
I understand what you're saying. Thank you very much for that, Mr. Hamid. I don't know if you wanted to come in there, Victoria, or respond at all.
I think you've adequately answered that. It's and I've already mentioned the fact that that it is in very close proximity to residential properties on Stockland Street, and there's no attenuation between that and that of Fairley Grill to the rear. So,
and I suppose the crux is the lack of that proper noise assessment with regards
it doesn't
to
give me any confidence.
with regards to the
unfortunately.
extraction
Exactly.
fan or what other.
The actual use of that premises for those hours have no evidence to support or give me any confidence that it can be run without compromising the Prevention of Public Nuisance Licence objective. With that absence of that information, with just speculation given by the applicant, I can't support the application.
Thank you very much for that, Victoria. All right. Yeah, certainly.
I displayed my application for 28 days over there on the Stockland Street, on the mirror toward the Stockland Street, and the mirror on the Cardiff Road for 28 days. If there is any objection from the noise, from the serving food to the people, and nobody can object to that application. Nobody objected to the application. If you can ask the licensing officer, no email was received, or nothing was received on their perspective. So that's my last point. If there is no objection from the people, I displayed them for more than 40 days. I removed it a couple of days ago. So there is no objection from the people on the Stockland Street, and there is no past in last 6 months there is no objection on the Fairley Grill, because after 11 p.m. we are cleaning the shop, and we clean the shop each and every day until 1 o'clock in the morning every day, and there is no evidence of nuisance or noise created until 11 or beyond, and there is no evidence of anything with the council on that particular place. Thank you. Yes, please.
Just one question. I don't know if our licensing team can answer, or you may be able to answer. When was the planning application agreed? Do we know? Is it quite recent or is it long-standing?
Just bear with us, Chair.
Do you know, Mr. Hamid, when you had a planning application granted for your premises?
It's 23rd of June 2020.
2020. So it's quite a few years quite a few years ago.
But we started in the 5th May. I bought this business and I started on 5th May. On January, I bought this business and renovated and I started on 5th,
So that's May.
2025 now.
Right.
Yes.
So obviously, the
6
building
months.
has been there.
Yeah,
but
building
you
was
were the-
there.
You were the new. You
Yeah.
were the new owner.
Yes, please.
Well, that's helpful. Thank you very much. For
Thank you
that,
so much.
I don't know if there's any further questions to either Victoria or to anyone at this stage. So if not, I'll go to all parties to sum up.
Chair, thank you. In summary, I would perhaps bring you back to the report and obviously all the information you have heard this morning. The position appears to me is that there's still an objection to the application by the Environmental Health Pollution Team Officer. Having heard from the applicant, Mrs Woodland has indicated that her position remains the same in terms of the objection. The members, your role as members will be to determine this application and not the merits of other venues in the proximity or the rationale behind why they were afforded licences, or indeed the noise which arises from the King's Arms. It's the test for you today will be, do you believe that the applicant can promote the licensing objectives, given obviously the evidence he has presented and obviously the evidence of the Environmental Health Officer? I would ask that you consider the promotion and licensing objectives, whether the applicant can meet that, and obviously then using the relevant guidance within the Section 182 and the local authority licensing policy when arriving at your decision for today. So thank you, Chair. That's my summary. Thank you.
Thank you, Lee. Victoria?
I have nothing further to add. Our objection still stands from Environmental Health. I've heard nothing from the applicant to dissuade us otherwise. Thank you.
Thank you, Victoria. And Mr. Ahmed, if you want to sum up.
No, I'm already done. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, with that, I'll now hand over to Stephen.
Thank you, Chair. In a moment, the Chair will ask all parties present to leave the chamber, and all those who have joined remotely, I don't think there is anyone, but they'll be asked to hang up, and the subcommittee will retire to discuss the application and the representations they've heard today. I will be there to offer legal advice, and the committee clerk will also be present, and the decision of the subcommittee will then be circulated by the licensing department within 5 working days. Back to you, Chair.
Thank you very much for that, Stephen. And can I thank you all for attending today. I'll now close the meeting, ask for the webcast to be stopped. And as Stephen said, the notification will be done in several days. Thank you all very much.
Thank you so much.